From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to OpenLine. Glad you are with us on this night before Thanksgiving. And what I want to do is just take time to talk about the economy. That's right, the economy. We're going to talk about what we might expect in this upcoming year. It's been a crazy year that we're about to leave, and certainly the holiday shopping season is upon us. But what are economists saying about what could happen next year? And there are all kinds of theories. They've been raising interest rates. What impact will that have? Will we have a recession? Those are the kind of things, kind of a 30,000-foot level, one that you can certainly join in, ask whatever question you want. We have someone who kind of knows a lot more about this than certainly I do and can help walk us through all of this. Very happy to have with us, with Lipscomb University, a professor at Lipscomb, Julio Rivas, who is joining us via Zoom. Thank you so much, Julio, for coming on.
Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate the invite. I'm always happy to be here and share the little or the much that I know. I'm always happy to share it with the audience.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just a good time to talk about this. And I appreciate you coming on. Again, it's the night before Thanksgiving, and this Zoom, you're in Mexico, right? You're with family in Mexico.
Yes. I have family in Mexico. Certainly, I work at Lipscomb. That's my full-time job, but we're traveling for the holidays, and I'm here enjoying a little bit of time with my family. But I also say, I need to go and share some of the knowledge that I have with the audience of Channel 5 Plus. So
well, I'm here. I really am grateful. That's great, and we're international as a result, so I appreciate that as well. All right, so
of course.
So Dr. Rivas, we've seen what's been going on. I know when I ask economists what's going to happen, they always say, I don't know what's going to happen. So let me ask you this:
Sure.
What are some theories about what might happen in the upcoming year? We've seen a bunch of interest rate increases. Are we talking about a recession? Can we avoid a recession? What are some of your thoughts about what we might be in for in this upcoming year?
Sure. And this is evidently my personal opinion, and I've been reading about the matter. I've been trying to document myself and make sure that whatever we discuss is as accurate as possible. So the first thing is inflation. I would like to talk about inflation because that is the elephant in the room. That has been the main issue that the American economy has been facing in the last year, and that is a very important problem to control. Well, if we think about high inflation countries, we think, for instance, Venezuela. It is very hard for businesses and for individuals to make plans because there is no certainty on future prices. Now, our American inflation is not as out of control as those other countries, but it is very high for us. And that is something that we really need to control as soon as possible. We need to make sure that inflation is under control. The quicker, the better. And well, there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of reasons why we think that inflation is as bad as it is right now. I'm going to give you two that I think are the most important ones, and one of them were all the stimulus that happened during 2020. There was a lot of money that was, let's say, dumped into the economy,
right.
And we can say. I mean, we might think that saved the American economy back in 2020, but also, it's once you have too much money and you don't have that much production, prices tend to go up. Another big issue that is now going downwards a little is oil prices and gas prices for us, especially, right? With the invasion of Ukraine and Russian sanctions and all of those things, oil got very expensive. Now, our gas prices, especially in Tennessee, have been going down significantly. But I don't know if you have noticed diesel prices. Diesel's still very expensive.
It is very high, over $5 a gallon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. And I asked my graduate students, hey, have any of you noticed how is the diesel price going? How is it behaving? Some of them drive diesel trucks, and they say, oh yeah, I can feel the pain. And for sure, and well, we personally, most of us, I'd like to think we don't use diesel, but yeah, big trucks use diesels, and all those 18-wheelers that you see in the interstate, they use diesel, you know, and we use those trucks to bring merchandise, you know, to bring things to the store and all of that, you know. So as long as it's expensive, prices are going to still be a little high.
Right. That's going to impact what we pay for everything. The fact it costs more to get it to the stores.
Yes, absolutely. That is one of the things.
Now, to speak to your point, okay, what you're talking about is
yes.
we're trying to slow the rate of inflation. In reading, it looks like we had a 9.1% inflation rate in June. 9.1%. So
yes.
That's pretty high. That was in June. It's gone down a little bit since. I read, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Fed's target rate, their target interest rate, or inflation rate is 2%. So we're way above that.
Way above.
You laid out reasons why.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, do you think, are we going to keep seeing that go up? And I remember the 80s when it was really bad. And then you mentioned Venezuela, where things are out of control. I pray we never get there.
Oh, yeah, that's.
But
yes.
9.1%. How concerning is that?
Well, that is bad, I would say, and we've been going down since that 9.1%. Actually, the latest minutes from the Fed's meetings, the Fed is thinking of increasing the rate, but not as drastically as they've been doing it before. So let's put it this way: for most central banks in the world, inflation is their main target. They don't want to have inflation, and I remember when I was going through school that one of the motivations in Germany when they created the Bundesbank after World War II was not to have hyperinflation as the one that they had before World War II. So inflation and fighting inflation is engraved in the mindset of most central banks in the world. Now the Fed wants to have inflation, but also enhance economic growth and reduce unemployment. And those things are very hard to achieve, because basically with economic theory and with the things you do, or aka raising or lowering interest rates, that will either lower inflation and create and also reduce economic activity and reduce employment, or you will increase inflation but also increase economic activity. So the balance there is very hard. It's a very hard thing to do, and at this point right now, I would say the policymakers believe that putting inflation or having inflation under control is the most important thing to do. And I think it's important up to a certain point.
Very interesting. Now, you said there's their most recent meeting, we've seen them raise interest rates pretty dramatically and very regularly. Mm-hmm. And are you saying in their most recent meeting they said we may not need to continue raising it so dramatically? The high was a 9.1% inflation rate in June. It has come down since then.
Inflation rate, yes.
I think maybe it was 7.2. Something like that.
It's better, but we're not close to the 2%.
Right, we're nowhere near 2%. So do you think in the coming year we'll continue to see dramatic interest rate increases?
Yeah, I mean I was looking at what a lot of economists expect. And some people believe that the Fed's funds rate, the upper bound, which is a reference rate that a lot of times when we talk about the Fed increasing rates, well, say it's that interest rate. Might go up to 5%, which is 50 basis points, half a percent higher than what it is right now. And then some people believe it's going to peak there, and then it's going to start going down. And towards the end of 2023, we're going to see lower rates as well. But on the other hand, inflation, well, it's also going to start going down. But if I'm not mistaken, the rate. The year-on-year rate that we're expecting by the end of next year, it's around 4%. Better than right now, but not at the level of 2% that we desire.
And so then do they just have to flatten the economy? I mean, do they have to raise interest rates so high to slow things down so much that it's basically a recession, and maybe even a hardcore recession.
Yes.
Is that what they need to do to make things right with inflation?
That is the risk. That is the risk, and that is and that is a trade-off, and it is hard, especially for policymakers, to think, oh, well, what is more important, to really cut the economy and have a recession and hopefully put inflation under control, or try to go easy, and try to keep on lowering inflation and not harm the economy as much as we think it will do. It is hard. It is hard. I've spoken with several business people, and they are really not motivated in having high interest rates. They know that higher interest rates will reduce economic activity really badly for a lot of them, and reduced economic activity evidently leads to unemployment and to other issues. So yes. Now, since you asked me, not to say like okay, I don't know how to say it, but to give you my guess, is that I would like to think that the Fed will not increase interest rates as much. That's my guess, and hopefully my hope, my wish for Santa, if I may, that they will not raise interest rates as much, so that we can continue to have an economic activity. And here's the thing, it's we all believe that we're going, or that we're close to a recession, but employment numbers are still very strong. So usually one of the signs that you see when we're heading to a recession is that a lot of people are losing jobs. And surely, we can talk about Twitter and Meta and some of those companies, but in general, the unemployment rate is still very low.
In general, the unemployment rate is still very low. All right, we have to take a break, and maybe that sets the table for our discussion. But I still want to dig deeper. I'm bummed that it feels like we have to slow down the economy to keep it under control, and that when there was a time of prosperity, when people seem to have more money, then inflation goes rampant, and it's bad news for the economy. So that's unfortunate. And I want to dig a little deeper into that. But why don't we take a break? Sure. Certainly, if anybody wants to call in with question about the economy, thoughts about the economy, this is a great chance. There's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.